Hello everyone, this is the unknown astrologer. Welcome to another episode of the Navmansha series. Today we will be discussing if you have Aquarius ascendant in the D9 chart. What happens if Aquarius rises in the D9 chart? कुंभ लगन नवमांश में होगा तो आपकी मैरिड लाइफ के बारे में क्या इन्फरेंसेस ड्रॉ किए जा सकते हैं. We'll take it point wise. But like always, if you haven't seen the Understanding Navmansha video, which is there on this channel, I will recommend that you watch that first so that you get an idea of what expectations to have from Navmansha series as a whole and what is the scope of the Navmansha lagna. And then you can come back to this video and listen to Aquarius specifically. So Aquarius is, as you all know, it's the 11th sign of the zodiac. Okay, so there are two signs in the zodiac belt who will get married to their friends, or who would want to get married to friends, or even if it's an arranged marriage, they will end up making it more of a friendship. The two ascendants which I'm talking about are Gemini and Aquarius. Gemini is even more suited or even more inclined towards a deep friendship and almost a friend-like behavior or sibling-like behavior to some extent post-marriage. Aquarius is also similar, but in this here what happens is that the person who has Aquarius rising will always look for a gainful connection, a connection in which the team, the couple gains. So they will not go for a marriage, even if the person is a dear friend. They will not get married to that person if they see that it will bring their overall gains down. So you will also find that Aquarius at times get married to somebody in the same profession or similar profession, in which they both can exchange each other's networks, or complementing profession also, in which they can exchange each other's networks and grow together. So a doctor can get married to a radiologist, or similar complementing professions, or the same professions are seen mostly for Aquarius rising in the D9 chart. Okay. So what happens here is that it becomes more of a exchange of network, and the core of the relationship becomes that of a friendship. All right, so it's not a friendship in which they are willing to lose everything, which could be the case with Gemini, which is not the case here. They will not look to he or she who has this rising ascendant will not look to lose anything. And even if there is a hint of losing out on worldly gains, on worldly benefits, the marriage will not continue. Okay, so they see their partner as one important link in their overall network which they have. So network of relatives, friends, family, colleagues, etc., etc. So that this overall network which this Aquarius rising person has built or will be building after marriage, he sees the spouse, he or she sees the spouse as one very important link, or the most important link in this network. So that link has to function. If the link doesn't function, then they will have a hard marriage. Okay. Now what happens is that now we have to also see and keep in mind if there is any other graha in the D17 axis that can alter things. As I've always said, all of these predictions can become more strong or can become diluted if opposite energies, opposite kind of planets are sitting in the 17 axis. Okay, now the 7th house here is ruled by Leo. So the person will always look for a partner who has some kind of high intellect or high education, because Leo becomes a natural 5th house. So you can read a lot of astrology blogs and websites, etc. They will say that you will look for a partner who is royal and who is theatrical or who is a gambler, but those things don't really happen in real life, because Leo stands for creativity and gambling and theater and drama and all of those. But in my understanding, for a layman, the right prediction would be that the Aquarius ascendant native will try to look for a partner who has high intelligence, high intellect, good education, or it can also be extended that the person can be very good at his or her studies. If not very good, that person can also be from a prestigious institution, somebody who has gone for a good university or a college abroad, or even in India, in a better college than the person who is Aquarius. College is just a marker, but the fact of the matter is that the partner should be intelligent and should be educated. That is one of the primary qualities which the Aquarius person is looking for. They will not marry somebody who is uneducated. This is for sure. Even if a very dull planet sits in the seventh house, even then they will still look for somebody who is educated within their strata of the society. So, from whichever kind of a family this person is coming from, which is the Aquarius rising person, he or she will look for the partner who is competent and educated in their network. Okay, and that is how that person will become a very important link in the extended network of the Aquarius person. So he will not go for a dull partner. The thing which the downside of Leo is that the partner of Aquarius can be very self-centered, because his sun is at the center. So people who have very prominent Leo, they think about themselves. Also, what happens is that even if they don't think about themselves, because sun is the giver of light and energy, so they will always give and help people, but they will talk about themselves and they will have high esteem. So it's not self-centered, but they would want, by self-centered I do not mean selfish. Okay, so they are not selfish, but they would want their families to revolve around themselves. So the Leo partner would want the Aquarius person and the extended family to listen to the Leo person, or to, because the Leo person would want to be the center of attention. Okay, not selfish, but center of attention. He or she will be a giver and will be helpful to a fault, because Leos are helpful to a fault, but they will always try to put the discussion on the table which is about them. This is not happening for me, I'm trying to do this is not working out. So they will always try to discuss about themselves. Okay, which makes them also highly sensitive. So the partner of the Aquarius person is usually very sensitive. Now, in extreme happy marriages, it can also happen that after marriage, the Aquarius person can all of a sudden get into very good social circles, and the partner of the Aquarius person can become the reason behind this entry in the high circles of the society. So this is the case, but this is not the case for everybody. But in extreme positive outcomes in which the planets are also placed very well, this is a high possibility. The Leo person will put the Aquarius person in brighter visibility, basically. Okay. Now, the 10th sign, which is the image of the marriage, becomes Scorpio in this case. So again, as I have always mentioned, Scorpio means psychological edge, something which is secretive or psychological or deep connection. So the people in their circle can see this couple as having a deep, intimate connection. Also, in certain cases, if Venus is well placed, it can show a deep, intimate sexual connection as well. and which the people will acknowledge. So it's not something which is behind the doors. Behind the doors, everybody can have that, but this is something which people will acknowledge, that they have a very deep, intimate connection between them. Okay, but it also shows that it also tells us as astrology students that the image of the marriage here will depend majorly on how Mars is placed and which planet is placed in the 10th house, because with Scorpio you can't say much. Scorpio is something which is undercover, under the wraps. You can't really say much. Only thing you can say is that the image could be undercover, or people may not have a very clear idea, except the fact that there is a psychological, intimate, deep connection which they have. But what these two people talk amongst themselves, how they behave inside their closed doors, I don't know. I mean, this is what people will say, that I don't know what they do here. I don't know what they discuss. I don't know what they keep on talking. They might these are the couples who can also have a second language which they only understand. A lot of people in India speak Hindi differently, or can have a regional language which only they understand. Nobody else understands. So they can be secretive in their communication. This could be the public image of the marriage. The people around them will say, I don't know what they talk, I don't know what they do, but they seem to be pretty much, well connected. I don't know how. Now, the sign of Virgo, which is the sign of disputes, goes to the 8th, which shows that the disputes will be because of the in-laws. In-laws can create some deep disputes amongst these two. Both the in-laws, not just one, but both the in-laws from both the sides can create trouble. Okay, the Gemini sign, which is a sign of friendship and skills, goes to the 5th. So, which is great, because that shows that they will be friends and they will behave like friends with their children, and the children parent relationship will be playful and highly communicative in nature. Okay, what else can we deduce? So the 4th house, which is their house, which is where they live, so that becomes of Taurus. So the house will have, if they are financially well off, which can be seen from the D1 chart and the dashas running. If they are financially well off, then the 4th house, which is of Taurus, shows that their house will have good collectible, valuable items like artifacts and expensive paintings, etc. Even if they are not that well off, there is one thing for sure, that if you go to their house for lunch or dinner, you will have very tasty food being served to you. Now, this tasty food will be dependent on the culture and the financial status, but wherever they are, their network, you may not like it, I may not like it, but their network will say that यार इनके घर का खाना सबसे अच्छा है. This is the best place to go for a dinner. So, or if they have the money, then the house will also be very expensive looking, with decorative items, etc. All right. I think another thing is that the expenditure here becomes, the 12th house is that of Capricorn, so they will spend after a lot of thought. So they are not going to be spending money very quickly, unless Moon influences 12th or Jupiter influences 12th, which can result in heavy expenditures. But even if we conclude that they have heavy expenditure because of Jupiter, but even then the placement of Capricorn in 12th sign shows that they will think and deliberate a lot before spending money. So they can spend a lot of money, but whatever thing they buy, that they will buy that after a lot of thought. That is why the house also becomes of Taurus, which shows that they will have valuable collectible items which are of high value in that culture. People will recognize the value. So yeah, I think this is enough. This is the rest we can only say once we have planetary placements, because this is the skeleton. These are the important pointers. But with planets placed and rashis and houses and everything, all three aspects, and the connection from D1 due to the consultations and all, we can elaborate much more on it. So this is my analysis of Aquarius ascendant in the D9 chart. For more such videos, please subscribe, share my work with your friends and astrology enthusiasts. Thank you. Bye bye.